I'm still intrigued by the fact I'm doing this video, but when I hear the prompt, my obedient ass has to listen. So I've been called to share my twin flame journey. And I don't know why, but I feel there's a lot of people in the collective that might need to hear exactly what I will be sharing today. So, on the twin flame journey, a lot of people have distorted perspective and romanticize it and actually keep themselves in places that actually they're not meant to be because they're refusing to learn the truth behind the reasoning of this twin flame dynamic. So stay tuned to the very end because I'm going to share with you my story and I'm going to share with you what I have learned about the twin flame journey that's really going to bring a lot of clarity for you. Let's get lost. What is Gooch Gooch? Welcome back, you beautiful awakened ones, because together we rise. What's going on, you beautiful beings? If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Brittany Fonses, and what I do on this channel, I speak about spirituality with compassion, emotional awareness with love. I do guided readings for each zodiac sign, and I talk about things I feel need to be talked about because it's our divine right to know more than what we have been told. Now, today, we're going to be talking about the very intriguing journey called the twin flame journey. Now, before we continue, if you enjoy spending your time with me here today, I'll greatly appreciate if you hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification button as well. But other than that, beautiful beings, let's jump right into this because I feel this message is going to be needed by some people. We're feeling a real big shift on this planet, and we all come here for a purpose. Everyone has a calling, but very few are willing to listen to that call. And there is a such thing as a very powerful divine connection with two individuals that come into this lifetime to pair up, to build something very powerful to help the collective shift into this new energy that Mother Gaia and that God and the higher realms are trying to implicate onto this planet. Now, before we get into it, I'm going to share with you my twin flame journey and how I stumbled upon this journey. I had my spiritual awakening around, I would say, 2017. This is when I was living with my mother. And this is when I was actually going to decide to take my own life for one last time. And, I had my spiritual awakening while early in the morning, around 3 in the morning, where I saw my third eye appear in front of my face. It was a very mystical experience for me. But after that, I didn't really listen to the promptings of my mission. I didn't listen to my heart. I didn't trust that experience. So therefore, around, 2018, the ending of 2018, I pretty much lost it all. I lost my first apartment. I lost my job. I lost the person I was with at that time. I ended up having to live back with my dad in his basement. A lot of ruckus happened in my life. But that is when I finally heard the calling of my heart intuitively to go about my mission, to go about what I felt I needed to do. And that's when I started my YouTube channel. And that's when I really started to take initiative in going about my existence, my purpose for being here. I still don't understand why I existed. I still didn't understand why I was even doing YouTube, but I knew I had a lot of things to share from everything that I've experienced growing up. So it's very interesting because throughout, allowing myself to discover new ways of being, to getting out my comfort zone, to stop settling, to stop being like my family, to stop going about the lineage, because we all go about the ways our family lives and the way they have been living life. And it's like all of a sudden when you feel like you're the black sheep of the family, it's because you're meant to do something different. You're meant to awaken something within your bloodline. And so that's what happened to me. And so while I was stumbling upon just doing YouTube videos, really discovering how to get myself out there, how to get my word out there, I started meeting a lot of people in the spiritual community. I started to learn a lot about how my abilities worked and my gifts that I have. And the more I started to discover myself, the more I started to connect with new people, the more I really started to broaden my horizon. And as I was discovering myself and building myself back up, I end up stumbling upon that very individual that happens to be my twin. Now, I didn't really understand the twin flame journey. I mean, I heard a little bit things about it, but the gist of it that I've learned was that there is a powerful connection that's more powerful than an ordinary connection with two people. This is a powerful connection that divine has precisely imprinted a plan, a divine plan within each individual that they should fulfill together, and even with themselves. So when I met this person, I didn't really feel the familiarity the way that she did. Yes, it was a woman. There is a such possibility that you got to understand the twin flame journey. It's not about genders. It's about the energy. Women can embody the masculine energy and men can embody the feminine energy. And then the same goes for the other ones. The woman could embody the feminine and the man could embody masculine. Does not matter by gender. So pretty much, I was the masculine, I would say she was the feminine, but I want you to understand we both have these energies within us, the masculine and the feminine, but we're going to get into the understanding of those two. So while I met this person, I didn't feel the familiarity. She did though. She felt the familiarity. But when we actually met, that's when I felt the pull. I felt the pull to her, and I didn't understand this pull because it was something deeper than I ever felt, and I never felt it with anyone else. And I knew this was like the person I felt like I could really love, and I never knew I could love someone so deeply the way I love this person, and I still love this person till I know the day that God takes me back home. I'm gonna have so much love for this person. So, you know, when I did meet this person though, I realized how triggered I was getting. I realized all the deceptions, all the lies, all the things I was hiding and avoiding taking care of was coming to the surface, like immediately. Abandonment wounds, codependencies, you know, traumas from childhood, reliving those kept coming up, and I didn't understand why. And I realized when we got together, it was very toxic. And I want you to understand on your twin flame journey, it could be very toxic, you guys. You guys could be your own karmics because you guys are here to clear our karma, but you're also here to understand the lessons you need to learn in this lifetime. So we were karmics towards each other. We were very lustful, immediate attraction, very powerful connection. And even when we met in person, she even said, I feel so powerful when I'm with you. And I felt very powerful when I was with her too. But it got to a point where we kept hurting each other and hurting each other and hurting each other because we weren't learning the lessons. We weren't healing. We weren't doing the inner work. We were just fixated and obsessed with being with one another, but it wasn't working out. Because you got the thing where you got the runner, you got the chaser, you got the one who doesn't want to do the work but wants you and doesn't know what they truly want in life, but they still want to be with you. And you got one person who is doing the work, who is doing the healing, who is righting the wrongs, who is speaking the truth, who is being honest, and they are putting up with a behavior that is making them settle, that is making them abandon themselves. So I want you to understand that. You know, let me get a little more deeper in my story before I continue the twin flame journey of why it exists and the reasonings behind it. So I didn't really understand why all these triggers were happening to me, but there was times when I was finally being honest. I was finally showing up. I was finally saying, damn, I got some shit I need to heal. I see why I'm on this journey so I can heal because I have a big purpose here. We all do, but like I said, very few are willing to listen to that call. So there's always going to be one twin that's more awakened than the other. It doesn't mean you guys are like one is important and one is not important. There's just a valuable lesson you need to learn in understanding that there's one who is going to feel intimidated by the power, who's going to feel intimidated by the love, who's going to be scared to see their potential. And there's going to be one who does see the potential, who does see the potential in this connection. And there's individual lessons you both need to learn and karmas you need to clear out. So I learned too when I finally spoke my truth, when I finally spoke my darkness, when I finally spoke up the lies that were happening within our dynamic, because I really wanted to make it work. I really wanted to be my authentic self. You know, this person ran off. They ran off. They ran off because they listened to their ego. And you keep chasing because you're anxious, you know. It's just that the wounds that you need to heal. And your twin is your mirror. Now, I didn't understand why I was going through so much trauma trying to detach from this person. It was like I couldn't even be in my own body. It was so bad. And then when I started to do more inner work, when I started to really work on myself, when I really started to understand my ways of how I treated her and why she treated me that way, why I was so judgmental, so controlling, such a dictator, I started to realize the reflections that I was seeing was really my own projections of myself, of realizing that I wasn't really who I was. I was pretty much my parents. I was pretty much everything that I grew up. That the things I despised, I became. And that was something that awakened me to learn to do the healing work. And so when I started to do the healing work, when I really started to detach from this person energetically, not just emotionally, not just mentally, because we telepathically talk to each other, I really had to disconnect energetically. And the more I did that, the more you pull back, the more they end up, it turns around. They end up becoming the chaser and you end up becoming the runner, It's because there's work we have to do to not be intimidated by this love, this divine love. And we're all divine beings and we all are love. But when the two people come together, that's very potent, powerful love. That's very intimidating because we have been given a distorted perspective of what love is in this society. That's why. So let me continue my story. As I started to do my healing work, I end up meeting more people in the spiritual community. I end up starting to understand myself more, my abilities, my capabilities, my purpose. And all of a sudden, I end up stumbling upon a great friend that I have. She does Akashic record readings, and she gave one for me, and it just hit home with everything. It made sense. All my life, even growing up, I had this vision like my mind is just a dark, dark fucking cave, and I never understood why. It was like I always saw a spotlight, but it was like I never could roam around because it was so dark, and I never understood why I had these visions. I never understood why I felt worthless. I never understood why I didn't feel like I belonged, like I didn't feel like I was enough. And she hit home with this reading, and she told me in my past life I was a person who lived in poverty, but the thing is I had such wisdom to enlighten people. And my twin, she was the princess. This was around the time, you had the Game of Thrones time. Those times, that's what it was. And, around those times when you start speaking shit that seems very esoteric, it wasn't acceptable. It was like you're a witch, you gotta be shunned, Those times were very tough. But she was the princess, and I was a person of poverty. We fell in love. And she didn't want to leave her luxurious lifestyle because she probably would have been shunned by her family, and she didn't want to leave the materialism of her own lifestyle, of being taken care of just living the luxury life. But me, I knew I had a mission to fulfill. Even though I had a family, I fell in love with this person in this past life. So I had a mission to fulfill, and I kept fulfilling that mission, but I ended up getting caught because around those times, speaking stuff like that, people don't like it. You're going against their grain. You're going against the system that they have built. And so I was doing that, and all of a sudden I was on the run. I was on the hunt. People were coming after me, trying to kill me. And so I lived in this cave. And all my life in this lifetime, I had a knight follow me. And I thought this knight was me in a past life. But little did I know, as I got another reading from another Akashic record reading from someone else, my spiritual advisor that I actually met, that's taught me a lot about this twin flame journey that I kept denying. But once I stopped denying it, it all made sense to me. And the sense that what made sense to me was that in this past life, this knight that was following me in this lifetime, that I finally was able to detach from, it turns out that my twin flame married that person in that past life. And this person was jealous of me because he knew she loved me more than she could love him. But she didn't have the capability to leave. So I was on the run, and he found me in this cave. And he saw me, and he didn't kill me. He didn't kill me because he saw the wisdom within me. But he hid me in that cave and made sure my life wasn't taken. So I lived in that cave all my life in a past life. And it makes sense why my mind feels like a dark place. It doesn't anymore. I actually understand now. But I realized that my whole reasoning for this journey, this twin flame journey, is to learn lessons from the past life I did not learn, and I did not fulfill my mission. And my lessons were in that past life is to understand my worth. Is to understand I do not need to tolerate someone who is not ready to choose me, but also to choose myself. And I learned her lessons. And I think she's still going through her own lessons since we're in a constant state of separation. Maybe it won't reconcile, but at least I've learned my lessons. And I know her lessons where she has to learn how to choose love over materialism. Because we're not supposed to be of this world. We are not of this world. We just are in this world. And like I said, there's always going to be one twin that's more awakened and one twin that chooses their ego over love. So I want you to understand, my beautiful, beautiful souls, that this whole twin flame dynamic, one, the name is a label, but there is a such thing as the power of telepathy, of having this divine connection with this person in the 5D, and when it comes together the 3D, it's possible to be together. Some twins are together, some twins are not. But the whole point of this dynamic, I want you to understand, excuse the background noise, is that, hold on you guys. My bad. All right, so the whole point of this twin flame dynamic is not about romanticizing being with this person. It's not about trying to make it work with this person. If you guys want to make it work, it's possible for both of you to make it work. But the thing is, it takes you guys doing the inner work to seeing your shadows, to seeing what you need to clear, to seeing the childhood wounds that are still ruling your way, that is preventing you from being the divine being that you're meant to be. And I want you to understand as well that this whole dynamic, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I'll open the door for my cat. But this whole reason for this twin flame dynamic is not about you being with this individual. It's about you learning to come back home to you and learning why God created you and fulfilling your purpose and being here and fulfilling your right to being happy in this existence. So I want you to understand, this whole journey is about you coming back home to you. This whole journey is about understanding the power that God put within you. And this whole journey is about understanding, bringing your own masculine and your own feminine together and understanding the duality that makes up who you are and bring yourself back into alignment and balance so you can be who you're meant to be. Because like I said, we are not of this world. We just live in this world. We don't need to attain things to find fulfillment. We need to come back home and understanding the true essence of unconditional love. And unconditional love is required forgiveness, compassion, and non-judgment for you and for the other person and for life in general. Because like I said in the beginning, we have been given a distorted perspective of what love is about. Like all these Disney movies, all these fucking movies talk about toxicity in relationships, people choosing sex, drugs, and toxicity to be together, and they're always fighting. I'm here to tell you, love does not come from another person. Love comes from you. Love is what you are. And that is why this journey happens to come upon your journey, is because it's here to teach you to love yourself, to come back home to the love that lies within you where God resides. And when you can learn how to be your own feminine, your own masculine, and bring those together, here is the whole purpose of this journey, is to understand unionship with self. To understand that you're your own twin flame, you're your own best friend, you're your own parents, you're your own cheerleader, you're your own guide. And that is the whole point of this twin flame journey, is to understand the unionship with self before you have a unionship with anyone else. Because when you can learn to forgive you, when you can learn to stop judging you, when you can learn to have compassion for you, you will know how to give that out to other people. When you can see your own deceptions, your own shadows, your own lies, your own wounds, your own pain, and you don't judge that, but you love that and you nurture that and you heal that, you have the capability to give that to another person. But I'm here to tell you, it does take two to make this twin flame journey work. Some people do reconcile. It's possible. It is so possible. But the whole point is to learn to love you. It's to learn to say, can I forgive? Can I forgive? Can I stop judging? Can I stop trying to attain things outside of me to fulfill me? Can I learn to come back home and trust God, that God can show me how to love me again? Because it's not about love outside of you. It's not about getting anything outside of you to fulfill you. Because when you die, you can't take anything with you but what was in your heart and what you did on this planet through your attitude, through your good deeds, through learning how to move forward and still do what your heart is calling you to do. So my beautiful beings, I really hope this brought clarity. I really hope it brought healing, but I really hope it brought such understanding for you that this whole twin flame journey, yes, it's powerful. Yes, it's a capability for two people to be in separation and come together and able to do the inner work. And it may not be that at all. You may not come together, but the whole point is that, have you found unionship with self? Have you learned your lessons? Have you learned the reasoning why God made you? Because that is the whole point of this, is to understand your purpose in life is to give life meaning through loving yourself, through understanding what love is, and not judging yourself or life. Because God does not judge. God loves. So in order for you to feel that immense love, that power that you want with another person, you gotta have it for you. You gotta have it for you. And that's the whole point of this journey, is to come back home to self. Unionship with self. And that you could understand the power of true, unconditional love. And if you want to know more about this twin flame journey, I highly suggest you go check out Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness about Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. Even though it's not talked about in the Bible, well, the Bible has been passed down by many hands. But there is such thing as these divine people coming together to do the inner work, to heal and to fulfill a mission, either together or by themselves. But it's all understanding, learning your lessons so you can do what you're meant to do in this lifetime, on this planet. You know what I mean? But other than that, you beautiful beings, like I said, I really hope this helps. And if it did, please hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and let me know your feedback in the comment section below. And also go check out the link to my new merch. And thank you so much for your support and trusting me on your spiritual journey. And please understand, this life is about you. Not in a selfish manner, but in a way where we can learn to give yourself everything that you need to find fulfillment within. Then you will know how to give that out to the world and to help elevate and raise the consciousness of this collective with our very own creator. So on that, you guys, I love you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Namaste.